All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Millionth show. We're on episode 6 now, I believe, for Catwoman. My name is James, joined once again by my brother Henry. How you doing, mate? You right?
I've seen better days, man. But the lights at the end of the tunnel after this film.
You watched this film today, right? Just like
I watched this film, earlier today. Um, I feel after Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, at this point I've just accepted my fate. So, I mean, personally speaking, I don't just right off the bat, I don't think this was as bad as Batman and Robin. There might be a controversial opinion, but I don't know. When you're that far, you're this low down, it doesn't really matter at this point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're very different films. I'm having the same internal debate whether this is the worst film we'll ever review or not, because that's basically up against Batman and Robin. But I guess we'll come to it at the end of the episode when we rank them. So anyway, this film was obviously came out in 2004, starring Halle Berry, Sharon Stone, among others. Directed by a guy called Vidocq, I think, something like that. And he's only ever directed one other film, so
They probably
unsurprising.
didn't let him near anything after this.
Yeah, this is his second and last film.
Yeah, it's
So
magnum opus.
yeah, he's more of a, from what I could see on his IMDb, he's more of like a video, like special effects guy, video editing and stuff. So, you know,
I
someone
mean,
obviously gave him a chance, and I don't know.
well,
Uh,
maybe that is shown through. One thing I did notice with this, they really do like their what's called shot work, like panning
yeah,
around
camera
things,
angles, all that shit.
all
Yeah,
that stuff.
I
Because
mean, this film for me, I'm trying to like summarize what kind of film it is. I think this film, Catwoman, is very much a film of its time. Whereby, when I say that, I mean it's like it's in that this awkward period of cinema between the '90s and basically the Jason Bourne's Batman Begins, Casino Royale's kind of 2005 6, when films started becoming really serious.
yeah,
And you basically had this awkward few years, 3 or 4 years,
yeah, it's
where
like the film's
these
going
kind of
through
films
like
came out.
puberty.
Sorry?
Yeah, it's like the film industry's going through puberty at this point.
Pretty much, yeah. And this is like the film that landed in that era on our timeline of
Yeah,
Batman films. Obviously, when there are other films in other franchises we'll end up reviewing that also came through this, and this is just a period of bad, awkward films, like growing pains for Hollywood, etc. And this is very much a product of that. This film gave me vibes of like Spider-Man, but the very worst parts of Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man from 2001, Tobey Maguire. Like the very worst, the things that were bad about that film were like everything about this film. Gave me Bend It Like Beckham vibes as well, kind of on this. Like, I'm not sure if this is like a girl power kind of feminist film or not, because it's like it is, but it isn't. I don't know.
yeah, I
Um,
was confused about that as well because
yeah,
like
this film was full of mixed messages because no one really knew what they were doing, I think.
yeah, because like essentially, if you think about it, Catwoman might as well basically be Batman for women, but like
Yeah,
if that makes sense, it's just how I
essentially,
see
yeah.
it. But then
Except
like
I don't know. I
the
mean,
sound effects, I don't know.
yeah, this is a weird film, man. I mean, I don't know. Also, I mean, it's an obvious comparison, but also because it's similar era. When I mentioned other franchises, I was specifically thinking of what James Bond film came around this time, Die Another Day, also with Halle Berry. So I had a lot of like, I mean, Die Another Day is a significantly better film than this, but it still had those kind of vibes from that era of films in general, right? Of cinema. And that's why I don't know. And obviously Halle Berry is like one of the leading actors in Die Another Day and also in this film. So there was a little bit of like association in my head. So I don't know. Um, I think we can crack on basically going through the storyline, but I've got to say, like,
In this, there's not
really,
much to it, to be honest.
not really, because this is a confusing film for me. Because, like, I don't know. I think we could just jump into it, to be honest. So
Yeah, might as well.
let's crack on.
Yeah, they have some interesting credits, don't they? Here, I thought, well, the way they open this is completely different to all the previous ones because it's all about
Oh,
Batman. You got
thank God for that.
symbols,
The previous films were
capes.
opened by drive-through fucking jokes. So
Oh yeah, and like yeah, chicks dig the car and
yeah,
stuff. I
chicks dig
mean,
the car.
yeah, you've got like this sort of montage of like cats throughout history and at
Yeah,
important events and so on. And like the significance of like their connection to women or something, or like women of power.
yeah,
Um, and like it gets like goes from like Egypt all the way to like
yeah.
more modern times. I thought it was kind of interesting. Like I thought it was an interesting sort of credits to look at, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it was like it was an interesting concept that could have been played out better, but I think I don't know. I get you. It was kind of like, oh, okay, like you know,
Something different, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the thing. That's kind of one thing I did appreciate about this film. It was a, it wasn't good, but it was a different film to like, I couldn't, no way could I've sat through another fucking 2 hours of Batman and Robin, Joel Schumacher
Yeah.
shit, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
So,
like you can tell in this in a lot of parts that like someone was trying here. Like there was some effort being put in here.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
You could say
they
that.
might
This
have
is more
missed, but
like they were
it's not
taking
trying.
themselves a bit, trying to take it seriously, but also not. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
it's a bit difficult. Like with I feel like the making like Catwoman into something serious, which I don't think they've really tried, but
no.
it's a much harder origin story to work with than Batman purely because the difference between cats and bats is like one's like sort of a more serious animal in general.
Yeah, I think this is one of two origin stories with Catwoman, but with Catwoman, I think she's a villain that doesn't, or a character that doesn't really need an origin story because she's not, she doesn't have any, particular abilities or defining features. She's always kind of like an anti-hero or anti-heroine, sorry, where she and also like a romantic interest for Batman, and there's conflictions with him and Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle and all this shit. But she's also like, I don't know, she's also a criminal because she's like a jewel thief, cat
Yeah.
burglar.
Or
So
some would say a bit more like a Robin Hood figure or something.
yeah, yeah, it's a strange one. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Catwoman's always
guess.
like an
Yeah,
interesting character, but not one that I think needs an origin story.
yeah,
You know?
that's true. Because when they did it in when they did Catwoman in the Batman, it's like you don't really need. I think that's why they steered away from the whole, you know, got adopted by cats or saved by them or something. It's
Yeah.
just like just steer away from that, you know.
Yeah, and as well, I mean, what the others like Anna Hathaway's Catwoman. I mean, Chris Nolan doesn't like doing origin stories of Batman villains. We know that, but Catwoman is one you can get away with, I think, because she doesn't need one. She
Yeah,
doesn't even need exposition of how she came to be that way because Catwoman is kind of like a character is probably the most believable, most realistic. I mean, not in this film, but I mean in general,
yeah,
she's like the most realistic kind of villain because she's just like a thief. She's a burglar,
yeah. It's
right?
a cat, literally a cat burglar. So
Exactly.
you know,
So I think on that foundation, is this film. What I'm trying to say is this film is completely unnecessary. But anyway, we
yeah.
still
So we
watched
get
it,
these
and
credits, yeah, and then Harry Berry's top billing.
yeah, yeah. She starts. The film opens with it all started on the day that I died.
Oh
If
yeah.
there had been an obituary, it would have described the unremarkable life of an unremarkable woman. Great, thanks. I really needed that into this film, which I was
Oh
dreading
man.
enough as it was.
Yeah, they also. I mean, the thing that I didn't get as well is they have this bit, and it's like, oh, but that's not the bit we're at yet. And I'm like, oh,
Oh yeah,
thanks.
and then X Y Z, and you're just like, oh man, this is just like, again, this is another symptom of the times where it's like all these films just had bad um
Narration is it?
narration, yeah, at the beginning of the film, like I guess everyone saw Morgan Freeman do it in Shawshank Redemption, and then everyone's trying to do their own good version of that, and
Yeah,
all
it's like
failing.
it's like hearing at the beginning of the film. Like, I guess you wonder how it ended up like this, and it's like,
Oh, I hate that shit, man. I'm
yeah,
glad that's more or less died out in films by now, but at this time it was the trend, right? I mean,
yeah,
this is again one of those bad things about Spider-Man. There are Tobey Maguire's like shitty voiceover for the beginning of that, and again, this is just like this wasn't necessarily poorly delivered by Halle Berry by any means,
yeah.
but just what she had to read was just terrible.
Yeah, I
Um,
know. I mean, this
and
spends after this like the first 20 minutes essentially setting up like her
yeah,
life, how
yeah.
she becomes
Which you
Catwoman,
don't need. We get it.
essentially.
She's like a normal, boring kind of person. Like, you could have fucking done that in 2 minutes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, we could explain it in 2 minutes probably. So
well, we're gonna try.
yeah,
she, Yeah, well, yeah, we see her normal life where she's fucking useless. She's like, although like it's so over the top because she's like on her way, she's late for work, typical, and then but she's like not just like she's like and like knocking into people. That's kind of normal thing, but she's not just knocking it. She's like rugby tackling
Yeah, I
everyone
was, I
on her
was,
way, man.
you
She's
know,
like
questioning
not
that
just
too.
like oh bumps and elbows and shit. It's like bang, bang. Oh no, like it's like you're this is like bad acting basically.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's like trying to, it's like overdoing it. It's like, oh, I'm just a really clumsy person. Everything is like,
But
I
that's
don't
too
know.
much. That's like no, the most clumsy person in the world would not do that. You would like
Yeah,
have a few scripts scratch, but you wouldn't like, pretty much just like elbow charge people, man, on the street, which is what she's doing.
yeah. But I mean, like this is also establishing, her life is difficult, and so on and so
Yeah,
forth.
yeah, yeah.
And like,
Um,
she's like a graphics designer for this, what was it? This like beauty company it is.
yeah, yeah, beauty products. There's some beauty cream that's being launched. What was
Yeah,
it called?
Bulin, I think it is.
Something like that.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
yeah, her job is to make some advert for this cream, and she fucks it up, whatever. And you just get all these like, they just stick about. You get the fucking boardroom with the evil boss in it and
oh,
shit.
I mean, as like ridiculous as that boardroom scene is, like, you've got all of them around there. I thought it was like all right because it is kind of over the top, but it's
It's
like, yeah.
so over the top,
But
man.
I mean, we let 1989 get away with it. But in this, it's not like comparable really, but it's still
Oh, but
kind of,
yeah, this because this is like over the top where it's cringe.
I
It's
don't
not
know.
like in some kind of cool director style like Tim Burton where he like these are hallmarks of his characters, and this is just cringe. This is like a 14-year-old wrote it, like this is like the most two-dimensional characters ever.
True, the guy,
Not even two,
yeah,
actually. That's
head of
given
all.
credit. One-dimensional, man. Just one fucking dimension of
Yeah,
cringe.
like her boss and the guy who, like, runs this company is like,
Oh,
we're gonna make him get this Butane stuff, and it's addictive. We don't know about the side effects and so on. But I
okay.
mean, one
This
of the
is this is
things,
going to be the first. I mean, I'm going to bitch about this a lot while we talk about this film, but this guy was Daggett. This guy was Daggett, right? Like from the animated series, because, and this is what I don't understand. So, like, Warner Brothers were the studio that did this film or not? They did. They didn't. They weren't, right?
I
Or
think
they were
they were distributing it, but they weren't.
distributors. Yeah, of
They
course.
they
But
didn't
like,
have their hands on it much.
well, yeah, because they were working on Batman Begins. You said, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think by 2003 they were working on Batman Begins. I think,
Hmm.
something along those lines. But I mean, one thing to the scene's credit is there was one kind of funny line, I think, because like this just shows how, like, shitty the beauty business is and so on, and the cosmetics. But like when he's like, oh well, my wife here is stepping down as, sort of like the image of the company,
Yeah.
in favor of this person, and then give a round of applause and so on. But then he was like, oh, also we're gonna have like a celebration this evening, where, like, with like champagne or whatever. And then his wife makes this like kind of funny comment where she's like, oh yeah, yeah, be careful, she's not old enough to drink, like, taking the piss
Oh,
out of him.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
I've
getting
got to
someone who's
say,
17.
for this film, I really like Sharon Stone was like really good in this film. I mean, she didn't surprise me because Sharon Stone's a great actress,
Yeah.
but um, what she did in this film was the only bit that I was really engaged in. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I mean, she didn't have much to work with, but what she did well, and I got to
Yeah,
give credit
it
for
was
that.
a little bit. Yeah, there was like a kind of a plot twist later on, which
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
was all right. But I
definitely,
mean,
definitely.
yeah, I mean, all that happens really next is you just see, I don't know, her boss shout at her, yeah, because she fucked up that digital design or
Yeah.
something, and then like meets this cop or something, this detective guy,
Well,
right?
yeah, because she goes back to yeah, she has to fix this advert, and she goes back to her shitty flat, and there's some like party next door keeping her up, all the hallmarks of like, okay, this person has a shitty life, we need to feel sorry for them, and yeah, the next, although she's like meant to be, being kept up at like 3 4 a.m. because of this party, and then she wakes up the next morning and she's fine. There's no evidence to that lack of sleep
Yeah, I
bother.
never
No
understood
bags
that
under the
really.
eyes, no
Like,
like tiredness. She's like fresh as a daisy, So I don't
oh,
know.
I mean,
Um,
oh yeah, she was it. She tries to rescue a cat out of her
yeah,
window, right?
she
Yeah.
sees a cat, and but she tries to rescue this cat the wrong way around. Who the fuck would climb out of a window like that? She's you would be facing the wall, and but she's like the other way around.
I
Who?
don't
How?
know. Yeah,
Who?
but
Like,
she's
why?
just a
Why?
quirky,
Who would do
clumsy
that?
person. I don't know.
Huh?
Yeah, maybe she's just it's a quirky characteristic of being clumsy.
Oh, that's not even quite. That's just suicidal. It's
I
just
don't
stupid.
know, and
And
also
then
like with this place, it's like the cat is like for a cat, it's not that high up because like basically
oh
everyone
yeah.
knows cats can they just land on their feet all the time and so on, and like they're pretty like dynamic. So yeah,
Mm.
it didn't even really need saving. It's not like I don't know. However, this was shot or something like the situation just makes her look like she's making a dumb decision rather than something
It-
she has to
but
do.
yeah, but it's I don't know. It's like I'm sure if Warner Brothers gave you and me a camera and a little budget, we could make a way better fucking just someone rescuing a cat and failing. We could have made a way better. Like what it didn't have to be in such a stupid way where she's in this part of a wall which recedes where and her arms are there. Like what the fuck is this? Like like how would you get in that position? And she stood on like an air conditioner which slips away underneath her. I mean, what is this? Is this meant to be like some kind of fucking crucifixion imagery or some shit? I don't know. It's fucking
Oh, I've got no
stupid.
idea.
It makes no sense. And then the other thing that makes no sense. Now, I was going to say it earlier, and now this is the second opportunity I would have said it.
Yep.
Is yeah, the cop comes to save her, and she says her name is Patience Phillips. Why isn't she Selena Kyle?
Yeah, that's a
This
good point. Oh, I mean, there's a possible reason to that
go on.
because in
I need to
in the,
hear
at
it.
a late point in the film, she's like looking through like all the pictures of like previous Catwomen and so on, like discovering like sort of this whole thing.
Oh,
And I'm pretty sure, or was it Michelle Pfeiffer? I can't remember who it was.
yeah.
I think there's a picture of Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman from like Batman Begins in there
Was there?
somewhere. I might have been seeing things, but I think it was there. It's roughly like the 50-minute mark or something.
No shit. Are you sure?
Maybe. I'm pretty sure it was there, but anyway. I mean, yeah,
Oh,
that's like possible. It's the only evidence that this film might possibly be in the same sort of world, or rather just on its own.
oh, like the same universe as the Schumacher Burton films.
Maybe, but it might just be just a
Can
reference.
you can you while I'm about to rant about something, so while I'm doing so, quickly look that up, because it's not just Selena Kyle, right? I don't know why they didn't, because Warner Brothers were involved in distributing this film. Warner Brothers are the rights holders of all Batman, so I don't know why there was no mention of Gotham, no mention of Selena Kyle. I don't know why the evil CEO guy wasn't. I mean, he was basically Daggett, like from the animated series, and even the cream they use is like because it just reminded me completely of Clayface's origin, right,
Yeah,
in the
you're right.
animated series. As soon as I saw it, I was like, this is fucking Clayface origin story, man. And it's like Daggett, making Daggett Industries and all that shit. So I don't know why they didn't just kind of use that, and then there's another Daggett product that
Yeah,
would
it
make
would have
more
been.
sense.
Yeah, it would have been interesting if they had like although this is a film all about Catwoman, if they did the same thing where they normally have like if when basically when Joker's not there, they have two Batman villains around. But I don't know if they put
Yeah.
face in there, it might model
But I
it.
don't know why they went with Patience Phillips. What kind of name is that anyway?
I don't know.
Over something like I mean Selena Kyle. Like why didn't they use that? The
I don't know,
only
but it might have
the
been
only
for that
there's only two
reason.
explanations in my mind. One is that Warner Brothers for some reason didn't want to give any licensing rights to this film. Or the second is maybe you're right and it's like Michelle Pfeiffer, same universe, and there are multiple
Yeah, because
Catwomen.
that.
But that doesn't
Yeah,
really make sense because like, why wouldn't they just say Gotham? Or is this not taking place in Gotham or whatever? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's just a reference, but yeah, I can confirm just quickly looking back at it that was her there.
Oh, it was shit. Okay. Okay.
It's a
Well,
bit of
that's
a of all the names they could have chosen, even if it wasn't Selena Kyle, being called Patience, like really.
at least yeah, make it a fucking acronym of Selena Kyle or something cool like that. But yeah, that's such a random name, man. That must have
Uh,
been the director's nephew or some niece, sorry, or some shit, man. Her
yeah,
name, like named after her or some shit.
who
But yeah,
knows?
I just didn't understand why they never said Gotham. Like she lives in Gotham or whatever, something, man.
I don't know. But I
But that
mean,
is really fucking cool that Michelle Pfeiffer's in the little screen snapshot, man. That is so cool. I didn't notice that. That's
yeah.
amazing.
From what I can tell, though, I mean, at least from what I can remember, I don't know if you can correct me on this, but essentially nothing really happens apart from she like flirts with this cop a couple of times, or detective really, and then like she.
Well, yeah, because she's at work. So yeah, the fucking no, wait. I want to finish on this fucking cat rescue scene because
Oh
she's
yeah.
there and he's like 3 or 4 stories down, and he's like, or even more, and he's like, wait, stop, don't kill yourself, whatever. He thinks it's a suicide thing, and she's like, no, I'm rescuing this cat, and there's no cat, so he's like, what the fuck? So he comes up and rescues her, but he does so in like a nanosecond, breaks into her flat somehow, right? Her door is presumably locked, so he managed to get through the locked door, and then like wraps his arm around her. One arm's strength holds her entire fucking body weight from falling, while also holding onto the window ledge himself.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I was like, I don't know about that.
Makes no sense.
I don't know. To be
Anyway,
fair, most of this film doesn't. So I
yeah.
mean,
Anyway, so then he stalks her to work.
yeah, because
And
she
where?
had, yeah, he's got a wallet or something that she dropped.
Oh yeah. That's right. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
still a bit weird.
yeah, I think between that bit where he's at the office and they flirt or something, there's not much that really happens of note apart from that fucking stupid basketball scene. The one.
Oh no, wait. Because he follows her to work, and like, I just wanted.
Oh
This is
no.
weird. This is kind of like a girl power feminist kind of film, which is cool, but it's just weird because it's like mixed messages because
Yeah, it's
you've got
contradicting itself. Yeah.
everyone in this office, all these girls are checking out this cop who's like, I don't know, is he really? I don't know, like, is he that good looking? I don't know. They're all, including the gay guy in the office, who's got like that funny beard, right? And he's
Yeah.
like checking it. It's like this is really weird, man. Um, and yeah, and then anyway, she then walks into. I mean, then we cut to like the directors, the CEO, whatever, like talking about this fucking beauty cream and how it fucks up your face. There are side effects, and the guy's like, I don't give a fuck, and there's a guy with a conscience there who's obviously,
Yeah, the
giving us loads of
scientist.
exposition while Catwoman's walking there because she's like got the advert which she didn't give to someone, so she has to be there. Makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
She breaks into the office as well somehow. I think I don't know.
Yeah, this
And
is just like
basically, the bottom
poison
line
ivy
is she
going on.
overhears some of the conversation. She like not just like a clumsy little drop something. She like swipes a table full of shit, down. Um, and yeah, she's chased through this warehouse factory fucking place into a pipe. And they're trying to shoot her and shit, and fucking obviously it ends up with her being flushed out of the pipe, like into the docks.
Yeah, Doctor
And
No style.
sorry.
Yeah, I don't know why, but that reminds me of the same thing in Doctor No, where Sean Connery's in the
Oh yeah,
tubes.
yeah. I suppose it did actually. Because she gets fucking thrown out into the docks, and then she dies, right? And then she gets washed up into the next thing is like this rock, this little island thing, where she is somehow washed up into the dead center of it. How that's physically possible, I don't know. But anyway, she's there in the middle of this rock with a bunch of cats around her, one of which breathes life into her and fucking resurrects her. So I don't know why they went with this of all the fucking. You didn't need to do an origin story of Catwoman, and if you did, why did they go with this one? A cat
I mean,
breathing life into it. It's so bad.
yeah, this is even just that bit of like the breathing life into it, it like separates this a bit from the one in Batman Returns.
Yeah,
There's just like, oh yeah, a bunch of cats are around it, and there's like possible that she might have survived that fall or something. But
it's
this is
like
just
the
like,
people who made this film watch Batman Returns. It's okay. Well, that was a pretty shit, origin story of how to create Catwoman. Let's see how we can make it even worse, and
yeah,
that's exactly what they did.
yeah,
I mean,
you don't even have Christopher Walken to do a fun
no,
scene
yeah,
with.
yeah. Exactly. It just makes no fucking sense. By the way, up until this point, I also want to comment upon how bad the fucking costumes are in this film. The costume design, the clothes they're wearing, like not just how they bury it. And I know that's kind of meant to be in conjunction with their character and the character development and shit, but it's just fucking terrible, man. And
Yeah, I
and
mean, yeah, the costume was actually so bad apparently in that it was uncomfortable that Michelle Pfeiffer actually rejected like her role as Catwoman here. So that's basically one of the reasons why she didn't do this film.
oh, so this film was meant to be Michelle Pfeiffer's film.
I think at some point. Oh
Oh,
no, sorry, I'm getting this mixed up. Um, she was she disliked the comfort. She thought the one from Batman Returns was really uncomfortable, so she
Yeah.
declined returning as Catwoman.
Ah, okay.
But
Okay.
Halle Berry also thought this suit was really uncomfortable as well. I mean, go
Well,
figure.
it was just like I don't know. Like I don't know what the point of that suit was other than like, every guy to check her out. Like she just
Yeah, that's
like
the thing I don't get. Is like
I
if
mean
this
that
is the
suit is sexy as fuck, but I'm not really sure like if that's really what the point of the film. I don't really
yeah,
know what
it's like this is
you
meant to be
know.
like a a women's power film as well, but then it's like also she's dressed up like that. It's like I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's like I mean, and it's like this was clearly it's weird because this is like this film was clearly made by a guy, by men, but or it's like I don't know, like I don't know. It's like the guy who made or the blokes who made this film were like, okay, we're making a film about Catwoman, so we should make it a bit feminist, but we're also gonna, make sure you can see as much titty as you can, like throughout the whole film, So I don't know.
I don't
Um,
know.
really,
Um,
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't complaining really. Like later in the film, like some of the like but it's just like weird because you're watching the fight scene and you're not focused. It's like what you meant to do. What am I meant to be paying attention to, man? You're not giving me much choice here. I mean,
I, don't know, I was like half
Halle
zoned out
Berry's
during
fit
the
as
fight
fuck, man.
scenes.
Like what am I meant to do?
I mean,
um,
yeah, I despite the fact I've only seen this a couple hours ago, my mind is like this is like white noise in my brain. I can't remember like what
oh
happened.
man, this was just a matter of me filtering out the cringe. Like I was just trying to watch this, like ignore the cringe, ignore the cringe, ignore the cringe, just try and I don't know. Um, so anyway, let's get back to it. So yeah, this cat breathes life into her, right? And and she wakes up the next morning in her flat. She's late for work. She stood up her date with this cop as well. And despite those two things, her first instinct is to go, oh, I should return this cat to its owner, right? Um, I mean, this doesn't make any sense, but whatever. Fuck this film, man. So anyway, so she goes and she sees the collar, the name on the collar. She takes it to a crazy cat lady, basically like fucking fleshed out version of the crazy cat lady from The Simpsons, right?
Yeah,
Um,
basically, come to think of it.
Pretty much. And she tries to take the cat back to her. Um, and she meets up with her, but like he's weirded out. Obviously, she's a crazy cat lady, so she fucks off from there. And then yeah, we get back to her work, her shitty life, where the boss is yelling at her. But she's like asleep or like nodding off. But then she's also drawing without looking, and she draws like a really good sketch of her boss, but bald.
Oh
So
yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
Bit.
yeah, this scene of her like slagging off her boss was kind of funny. I mean,
Yeah, it was
it's like
kind of
you
cool.
can. I do think. I mean, personally, even though it was over the top, her boss is kind of set up well as a character, even if he is a like a flat one-dimensional guy. In that you can kind of relate. You can kind of relate to what she's saying,
Well, yeah,
and
obviously everybody's this
everyone
piece
else
of
in the
shit
office
kind of
is
thing.
like
Yeah.
like giggling under trying
Yeah.
not to get caught out. I don't
Well, I
know.
don't know. I mean,
It's an all right scene.
do you know that was good, except for the fact that she says that shit to him. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I wasted time." Yeah, she does a really cool line. She's like, "Well, here's the remix. I'm sorry that I wasted my life working for a dickhead like you, basically."
Yeah.
And uh, and then he's like, "You're fired." And then she's like, "Oh no, I'm sorry." Like I don't know. She like backs down straight away, and then everyone applauds her. Just cut out the bit where she backs down, and that scene would
Yeah.
be good.
No.
But she's like, "Oh no, I'm really sorry, I'm really sorry." And in which case, everyone would be like, "What the fuck? You just pussied out of that." And then it's like, I don't know. If you say something like that and then back down straight, you got to fucking say it with your chest and stick with it, man. You don't just back down and crumple straight away. But I don't know. Because I know this film. I mean, this is the maybe I don't know. There's a lot of just on a foundational basis bad things about this film, but one of them is the kind of Halle Berry trying to portray this like two personalities of Catwoman or
Yeah,
her.
I don't think that
It's
really
so
works.
badly fucking done, man. And it's like I don't know. It's like why did they do this and why is it so poorly written? Why is it so poorly acted? And this is the first example of it where she does something really badass. She like says this shit to her boss, and then she just like folds on it straight away. But it's just executed so badly, and it's not established by that point that it's just confusing and shit, you know. Um, but anyway, so then her friend is like really like, oh yeah, oh well, nice one, you fucking told him, and then some dogs are barking at Catwoman. And I don't know. It's like this. These throughout this film, you get these like weird cat mannerisms that she's supposed to be, adopting, but they just manifest in the weirdest possible ways. Like later on, for example, she's eating cat food, but with her fingers. So I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like it's also sort of like a subconscious thing. Like she does it, and then she's like, as if
Yeah,
she doesn't know. I don't know where that came from. It's like
yeah, yeah.
the whole dual personality things is like I don't know.
It's terrible. I don't think I've ever seen a worse like dual personality kind of fucking take ever, and that's including Two Face from fucking Batman Forever. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean? So bad.
you had like insane and like a little more insane, but
This
even they
is
were
like
distinguishable.
I don't know if the original Spider-Man like with Tobey Maguire, but it's like Green Goblin. That's kind of like William Dafoe's Green Goblin is always like cited as like when he's talking to himself in the mirror and shit. It's like really everyone usually cites that as like a really bad example of like dual personality. But this is like if you took the worst. This is what I'm saying before. If you take the worst elements of Spider-Man and then you make a whole film out of that about Catwoman, that's what you end up. That's what this film is, and it's just I don't know, this really bad fucking dual personality thing. So anyway, these dogs barking at her, and her friend passes out for no reason. No reason.
Yeah,
And I
I
don't
was
think
confused about this whole thing too.
we never find out why either. Later on, it's like she's like in a wheelchair and shit. She's on drugs and stuff. I'm like, she just fucking fainted for no reason. It wasn't a heart attack or anything. It's just I don't know what it was. What like and no, they never explain that, and it doesn't matter in the film either. Only for the sake of later on doing a bit of exposition where she calls her up in hospital and explains all this shit to someone, aka the audience. So bad, so bad. Anyway, so her friend passes out for no reason, and then Catwoman she wants she stood up that cop. I think there's a bit as well where he calls her. He left a voicemail like, "Oh, you stood me up, da da da." Like I'm still interested though because I'm because you're hot, which she is. But then he's so she feels bad and she goes and breaks into a school while he's doing some like motivational speech. Fucking cringe as shit, man. Um, and she's like, yeah, well, I called up the police station and they said you'd be here. What fucking police is this, man? Like, what kind of police is this? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm looking for a police officer. Oh, he's here. Oh, great. Then accesses a school, like just walks into a random school. Like this
yeah.
is
It
this.
makes the fucking Arkham Asylum from the
Oh,
previous film like look competent.
oh, mate, this is just so shit, man. It's like, okay, I know you're not meant to focus on stuff like this, but at least try and make it a little bit fucking plausible, man. Anyway, it doesn't get any better from here because then they have this fucking basketball scene, man.
Oh,
And
I want to forget this scene.
yeah, I don't know I don't know.
Like I went into this film with quite an open mind. I was like, yeah, I'll see what I can get from this, but like it did not help itself. And by this point, I was like, oh fuck my life.
No, no, I didn't. I was like, what am I watching now? What is this film?
This is, I don't know. Would you like to explain this? Because I don't think I can
I
say
don't
this.
know. It's like I don't know. It's so weird. All this shit. They have like this. They're in a fucking playground in a school which he shouldn't be in, and he's like, I don't know. So okay, yeah, the cop's doing a bit of basketball with the kids. That's okay. He's supposed to be there. She's not. But anyway, no one questions it. And then all these kids like throw her a basketball, and she's like doing all these skills, and it's like, and then I don't know. They start doing some kind of weird basketball face-off. I don't know. It's weird because
And the kids are
obviously we're
trying
English,
to
so
do
we
a
don't really
face
know
off.
about. Sorry.
Yeah, the kids are trying. Oh yeah, do a face off and so on. But then like,
Yeah. I don't know if this. I mean, we're English, right? So we don't really care about basketball. But I don't know if this is fucking kind of normal in like America or whatever. Like these basketball face-offs and shit. I don't know. Does it? I've never seen it. I don't think I've seen it before. I mean, like I said, I don't follow basketball. I'm sure I'd have seen it in pop culture somewhere if this was a thing. But they're doing some weird like basketball competition, and there's a bit where she's like twerking on him, and he's like checking her ass out.
in front of kids as well. Like what?
Yeah, in front of the kids. And then she does a slam dunk and then lands on him, pinning him down and shit again in front of the kids. And you're like, what the fuck is going on in this film, man? Anyway, so that's their first date, and then she's like on the phone in her flat talking to her friend who's in hospital, recovering from fucking fainting earlier, whatever. I don't know. This is the bit where Catwoman is eating cat food with her hands. I mean, I don't know. It's like Halle Berry said, no, I know I've got to pretend to eat cat food, but like I'm not gonna eat it like a cat would, you know. I'm gonna scoop it out with my hand. So I don't know if Halle Berry had too much dignity to actually like go the full way or not. But if you're gonna fucking be Catwoman and do cat things, I don't know. It's just fucking stupid, man. Anyway, um, so she's telling her friend how her date went amazing, and her friend's like, oh yeah, there's this hot doctor I'm like looking at, so like, oh cool, okay. Um, and anyway, so then the next evening, she goes to sleep, and then obviously she's woken up again by the party next door, but this time she's fucking Catwoman, so she's like, yeah, fuck these guys, you know. So she kicks the door down. Well, she asks them to like turn it down a little bit and shit, and then they're like, fuck off, you know. And then she fucking kicks the door down. Um, and then she's like stood in the middle of this hall, man. She's like, fucking. She pulls out a pipe. I don't know what this pipe is for, this hose, whatever, but she uses it to spray the speakers so they shut down. And then she uses it as a whip, which was kind of cool. I didn't expect that. I was like, all right, cool. If you're gonna have a fucking pipe randomly here, you might as well use it for something like that. So she does. And then she decides to put on some leather suit, which was referenced earlier by a friend. She puts on some leather costumes, some makeup and shit, and she nicks a motorbike that was outside the whole time. I don't know.
They do show like there's a cat on top of that motorbike earlier when she looks out the window or something. So I don't know if that's
Yeah, they showed it before, but it's still like, I don't know. Is it really that easy to nick a motorbike, or like, I don't know.
I mean, in this neighborhood, it looks like it.
Is that her motorbike? Yeah, it's obviously not. So I don't know what the fuck. Anyway, so anyway, then she goes to the jewelry store she saw earlier, where a friend fainted outside of, because she like these pearls caught her eye, whatever jewel fucking necklace, and anyway, so she's like walking by it, and then she sees some guys already robbing this jewelry store, so she also joins in, and she's like, oh, what a perfect idea. And I'm not even going to do an impression of like her rolling the R's. It's just the worst fucking thing I've ever seen, man.
Yeah, so just it's
So
like that you could do that back in, I don't know, 20 years prior or in the 66 film.
Yeah, but this is just so bad, man. And anyway, she has a fight. She fights the guy from Diary of a Bad Man, Hamza, man. And I don't know, just like this whole fight scene was just. I mean, yeah, it's her first kind of outing as Catwoman, so you kind of like it's there, but it's like didn't really do much for me. So anyway, the next morning she wakes up and with the jewelry, and she's like forgotten that she stole it. Whatever. She's like, what the fuck? What is all this shit doing here? I'm gonna return it all. But I'm gonna keep a couple bits here. So she returns it and leaves a bag which says sorry and also a box of cupcakes. Don't know why, but anyway, obviously this cop as well is there, and he's obviously the leading guy for everything in this city. I don't know if this is meant to be. I don't know. It's just so fucking confusing. Like, what is this town? Doesn't even. This feels like a village or some shit, man. It's like one cop in the whole fucking city, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, so oh yeah, and earlier on she gave this cop a cup for standing for because she stood him up before. She gave him coffee and she wrote sorry on it. That's important later, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, so then she goes home and she's like, what the fuck is happening? I'm having these like nights where I'm forgetting what happened and then I wake up the next morning with weird consequences. So she Googles cats. She Googles some really funny
like
stuff.
cats, women, or something like that.
Yeah, it's like cats, women, like the cats in history or some shit like that. I don't know. It's like weird Google searches, man. But anyway, so she decides, all right, fuck Google. I'm gonna go visit that crazy cat lady again. And this is super like I don't know what's going on here, man. This cat lady's like trying to explain what a Catwoman is and like giving this basically feminist speech. And she's like, yeah, I used to fucking be a lecturer for 20 years until the men kicked me out, blah, blah, blah. And Catwoman is a strong, independent woman, XYZ. And it's like, okay, cool. She pushes her off, breaks her own fucking balcony in a flat just to prove that Catwoman can land on all 4 feet. And she's like, yeah, have this mask. So,
Yeah, finally the costume's completed.
Yeah, and then the costume's completed, and we get a nice, good 360-degree look at it because she's walking along this rooftop. She's got fucking tits out and everything. It's like, I mean, I really want to know what the conversation was going on with the costume itself, because I'm kind of glad that they gave Halle Berry the dignity of wearing like leather trousers, whatever, right? I mean, she's not wearing much else, but at least, I mean, this film like could have easily. I'm sure there would have been a conversation where it's like, oh, do we just get her out there in a thong or some shit, man? Do you know what I mean? Because it's just like, So at least they gave her the dignity of of fucking some trousers and shit. But I mean, the rest of it is just like, it's like this is just
embarrassing.
Exploiting Halle Berry, man. So yeah, and you just get a montage of her running around the city, jumping around the city in this, in this outfit. Which I mean, that actual scene of her walking around through it is iconic, but I'm sure not for the reasons that Halle Berry intended or anything. I mean, it is like a sexy cinema moment that kind of everyone recognizes, but I don't know, like I don't know.
Yeah, for like I don't know, for what this film was trying to achieve, at least on paper, like I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't if I was, I'm imagining if I was a lady in cinema watching, a film about Catwoman, I wouldn't be impressed, would I?
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, okay. But again, this is
Turn like Batman
2004.
into like a
It was
male
kind of
strip.
different times back then. This is like, I don't know. These kind of films like Bend It Like Beckham as well. I mean, Bend It Like Beckham, far better film than this, but still, like, I don't know. Yeah, it is a bit of a strange one, man. So anyway, she's basically doing all this so she can go and track down who she thinks her killer is, right? Not really sure how she finds this guy. Oh yeah, she like sees him and then remembers him with her cat memory or some shit, right?
No idea.
Because he fired a gun at her earlier. I don't know. The way this film gets from A to B makes no sense ever. But anyway, she follows this guy to a nightclub where she orders milk, which is, I don't know, kind of cool in a way. It kind of gave me a flashback of the first 1960s Batman episode where Adam West goes to the bar and all. Like there's a bar and everything, and everyone's obviously drinking alcohol. He orders a large fresh orange juice, and Catwoman orders a glass of milk, which he drinks. Looks great doing so, must say. And anyway, and then she fucking jumps into the middle of the dance floor, dancing around and whipping and shit. And you're just like, what the fuck is happening in this film? She's like whipping people and shit, and she fucking whips over to the killer's table, who she thinks the killer is, and he thinks he's this fucking lucky night, man, and I'm like, oh shit. You don't know what's coming, mate, because she takes him out back, beats the fucking shit out of him, and basically, I mean, you have this kind of fight scene, but it's the first fight scene in this outfit, so I don't think anyone is really focused on the fight. I don't know what to say, man. Anyway, she goes. So anyway, she basically finds out that, or he tells her, "I'm not the one that killed you. Like it was someone else's orders, or whatever. I don't know." He doesn't say who, but it's enough for her to go, "Okay, you've given me what I want." So then she goes to the lab where she was before, and this is super fucking dumb because she goes into this lab and she sees the guy earlier who has the conscience, right?
Yeah, the scientist. He's like, oh, I don't want to get people killed.
Yeah, I don't want to be like doing bad shit, and he's just dead on the floor.
Yeah, like you think like I've assumed they'd have killed him shortly after that whole talk, right? And they've just left his corpse there. Like,
yeah, they don't bother cleaning it up or any shit. They're just like, oh yeah, kill him, fuck it, Clean will take care of it, whatever. I don't know, like even security doesn't give a shit because there's security in this building who sees Catwoman, And no one does anything. It's just like this dead guy on the floor.
Yeah,
That's
maybe
normal
they've just
around
been
here.
maybe them like freshly fired from Arkham Asylum or something.
Oh,
Or
yeah, I don't know, man.
maybe they're about to leave and they're due a promotion or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Let's not even fucking dwell on this shit, man. So anyway, we get back to the police station, and the cop guy, he notices that the sorry written on the cup is the same as the sorry written on the bag. So he takes it to forensics, who analyze fucking handwriting, and even the handwriting guy does a bad job at fucking delivering this dual personality concept, because he's like, oh, well, the S and the O are written by someone who lacks confidence and is crying for help and shit, but the R and the Y are written by someone who is really powerful and confident and angry and shit. It's just like, oh, really? So even in
Yeah,
the
I mean,
fucking,
yeah, this dual
oh, so
personality.
bad.
This
Oh,
whole dual
so bad.
personality thing, come to think of it, is like it's like indicative of the film itself. It doesn't know what it wants to do. Like, is this meant to be a confident person, or
I think he gives it to, yeah.
right?
I don't know, man. It's just so bad, man. You're right. Yeah, it is kind of like that, isn't it? It's in an ironic twist of the fucking how shit the film is. Anyway, so he's realizing, oh shit, well maybe Catwoman and what's her name, Patience Phillips are the same person. So he's like, oh well, I'm gonna have a busy weekend then. So he goes on a second date with Catwoman, and they go to the fun fair, and it's obviously one of these dodgy fucking pikey fun fairs, because like the whole thing's falling apart. um, they go on the Ferris wheel. That's what they're called, right?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
it's a Ferris wheel, I think.
yeah, they go on the Ferris wheel, and they get stuck at the top. Like, art cringe, they're gonna fucking kiss, but they don't. It's like stops, and it's like breaking. You get the gears underneath, fucking flying apart. Every kid's worst nightmare, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, and the cop jumps out and like starts climbing down the thing. You're like, isn't that what Catwoman's supposed to do? And she does, because she notices the kid in front of her. The railing, the fucking screw is literally coming out. Like, what kind of fucking gypsy fucking funfair is this, man?
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
she saves him as well, basically. And I don't know. It's just it doesn't really. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I guess the point of it is to show that she's a good person, right? Because she saves the child's life. But
Yeah, maybe.
I guess that's it. So anyway,
But yeah,
um,
we'll give it the benefit of the doubt, I guess, because we do that with everything.
yeah, we're generous guys, man. So anyway, so then, so he's like, oh, what are you doing tonight? She's like, oh, I'm busy tonight, because she's gonna go and track down her evil boss. So she goes to his house, but instead he finds Sharon Stone there, and they have a little, fucking, fisticuffs. But she basically goes, oh, what even happens here? They basically team up, right? Sharon Stone and Catwoman. They're like, oh yeah,
It's a bit
let's go take him
confusing.
down, right?
Yeah, a little bit. It's a little bit confusing for me. I don't know throughout this
Well,
film.
it's because like basically Sharon Stone's character is the only one with like more than one dimension to it, really, because she's like, although even because she's like basically a washed up model, right? Who used to be the face of this company that she owns or co-owns with her husband.
Yeah,
So she used to be the face of this company, but she's a washed-up model. She says later on, when she turned 40, they stopped using her as the face of the company. Her husband's cheating on her. She's losing her. She's hanging on to the last of her looks. So she's going through what probably all women go through, like in terms of like when they start losing their looks. So she's going through this fucking crisis basically, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm going to team up with Catwoman to take down my husband, take over the company," and that's basically what happens here. So,
yeah.
so Sharon Stone tells Catwoman where her husband is. I'm going to call this guy Daggett, because that's basically who he might as well be. I can't even remember what the character's name is in the film, but so anyway, she goes to the opera to kill Daggett. Obviously, he's at the opera with this bit on the side that he's like cheating on fucking Sharon Stone with, um, and and then she has like a weird fight with the cop, right? Because she scratches the guy's face, the CEO, the evil boss.
Yeah, I was confused with a bit with this. Like, just kill him or something.
Yeah, and then yeah, exactly. And then the only cop in the city, this guy that he shows up with loads of other police as well, but like only he follows Catwoman they have this really weird fight in the fucking underneath the opera stage, whatever. It's just a weird fight, man. I don't even know what to say about it. Um, because there's like the light swinging around, which like blinds him and shit, and then like there's some shit going on with the handcuff, and then at the end she like kisses him and then jumps off, right? And it's just like we
Trying
get
to make
another
sense
little.
of this film is like futile, man.
Yeah, man. We get a scene here with Daggett when he's like he slaps Sharon Stone, but like hurts his hand doing so, which doesn't make any sense, even when
I
they try and
think
explain it later.
I think there is, yeah. I think that, yeah. At the time, it's like it doesn't make much sense, but I think it's something to do with like the beauty products they use on them, like destroy the nerves in your face or something. So
Oh, is that what it is?
I don't know if they said
Okay.
that like specifically, so don't quote me on that.
The
But
nerves. Okay,
relatively
okay,
uncommon.
okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Because I heard it's like, oh, it makes you feel better, but I didn't. If it destroys the nerves in your face, that makes sense. But then why would it hurt his hand? He's
I
like,
don't
oh,
know,
what the fuck?
because I don't know. Maybe he's just used to hitting people or hitting women because he's a bit of a cunt.
Yeah, true. I don't know. Anyway, so then Catwoman and fucking the cop go on their third date, and she's like, it's so cringe, man. She's like eating sushi like a cat, like this, and he's like, oh, you really like that sushi, you know? And she's like, oh yeah. And then she's like, again, we trying to like open up this dual personality thing, but it just doesn't work. It's just shit. Anyway, they go outside, and then she's like, another cat mannerism. Oh, she's about to tell him that she's Catwoman, but then she feels the rain, so she runs away, and then they start making out, and they fuck. Go back to her place. He finds some jewelry. He finds a nail, I think, right from the Catwoman costume.
Yeah, I think so.
So he's like, oh, I'm going to take this shit. I'm also going to take this glass with your lips, mouth, fucking DNA on it,
Yeah,
and
once a fed, always a fed. You know.
yeah, and I mean, what was she thinking? Of course, she's taking him back to her place. Obviously, she was going, and he's a police officer, and he told her that he's investigating Catwoman, this Catwoman case. So why would she bring him back to her place? Why? It doesn't make any sense, man.
I don't
I
know,
don't
man.
know. It's fucking stupid, this film. So um, anyway, actually, we get to what you mentioned before, maybe the only cool bit in this film. Sharon Stone calls her somehow because earlier in the film, Catwoman and Sharon Stone, when they agreed to team up, she was like, "Okay, I'll give you my number. You could call me when you need me." But then Sharon Stone calls Catwoman, which doesn't make any sense because they fucking literally agreed that Catwoman would call Sharon Stone, and they went the other way around with it. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Pisses me off. So basically, the point of all that is that Sharon Stone calls Catwoman to her place, and she's like, "Yeah, I've got some evidence against the husband. We'll put him away forever." And she's like, "Oh, really?" And then it's like, bang, there he is behind the desk, and it's like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Oh, this is a fucking cool plot twist." And then it's like, bang, and then she like throws her the gun. It's like, oh, like basically frames her. And I was like, "Oh, this that was like, oh, that really threw me off." I was like, "That was
This
unexpected."
film has like a trick up its sleeve, which is
Yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah. I was like, "Okay, cool, cool,
This is
nice
why I
job."
feel kind of sets it apart a little bit from like Batman and Robin. The fact that you can see there was some effort put in here, and there's something that does surprise you.
Yeah.
So it's
I
like,
think that's only really thanks to Sharon Stone. I think she
yeah,
really makes that
basically,
go. She puts on a pretty good performance in this film
yeah.
actually.
But
So
this is a merit of the film, nonetheless. I mean,
yeah, definitely. I think that was a really cool plot twist. She basically frames Catwoman for Daggett's death. And Catwoman escapes somehow in like her in some normal clothes that she takes. Like the whole fucking mansion becomes surrounded by police, and it's like she decides she's gonna escape. She looks down at her costume, thinks, "Oh, I'm fucking looking sexy as fuck, but I can't really escape in this, so I'm gonna put on some normal clothes and probably escape in exactly the same way that she would escape in her Catwoman costume." So what's the point of the costume change? What's the
oh,
point of that?
I mean,
There's no
maybe
point.
it's that she's not recognizable or something. I'm not sure.
But she's fucking jumping out. I don't know, man.
Maybe when you're looking for someone in a leather suit, even if you do see a civilian jumping around, I mean, maybe that. I don't know.
But no, no. But the mansion is surrounded by police. That's the point. There's like no escape.
Well,
But
maybe they're. I don't know.
It's not like
Maybe
she
they're
walks
looking
out the
for like
front
someone
door as like a
escaping.
crying civilian, go, "Oh no, oh boo-hoo," you know.
I don't know. Maybe it's someone like escaping in like a. They're like looking for someone who's escaping, like the way they'd expect someone. Like they wouldn't expect someone to do all like sort of gymnastics and like
I don't know,
ridiculous
man. I'm
force.
sure someone would have seen her escaping, and if they didn't, then she could have escaped in a leather suit anyway, right?
I don't know. Well, we know how security is in this film at this rate, so who knows. We've got one
Yeah.
police officer.
Anyway, yeah. Fuck this. Anyway, in the meantime, the cop basically goes to forensic. He matches up the lips from from the glass that he takes from her flat to the one on her face, on his face from earlier.
Oh wow.
So they're not even scanning DNA there. They're scanning like the shape of the bottom lip or some shit like that. I don't know. And it just makes no fucking sense. I don't get it. I do not get it. I do not. I don't. Oh, they surely could have done this better. This is a fucking film written by a 13-year-old man. Um. So anyway, and then she goes back to her flat after being framed for Daggett's death. So she goes back to her flat, and he's there with the gun in his hand, basically arrests her and interrogates her. And in what fucking system of law would you have a cop that is fucking the suspect interrogating her as well? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's because it's like I was just about to say, well, maybe people don't know, but then other cops like literally acknowledge like, oh yeah, you lost your girl, but at least you still got your man.
Yeah, exactly. It makes no, and it's like, oh mate, and it's like, oh, where did you get that glass from? Her place. I don't know, man. It's just
I don't know.
stupid.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe the old Commissioner Gordon's back in charge. Who knows?
Oh, who fucking knows, man? Um. Anyway, so she's in jail, which she escapes from by literally squeezing through the bars. Like,
Yeah,
I,
I
I
don't
don't.
know, man.
She squeezes through the bars of her jail cell and escapes. And then she goes. We cut to like some fucking car park where there are a bunch of trucks lined up, and she does a cool thing where she rips off the wheel of each truck with some chain. I missed why she did that. But it looked cool, I guess, but it's just
Yeah,
like,
that's all you can say. It just kind of looked a bit cool.
yeah. Well, I don't know what the point of that was. Maybe was it to stop delivery of the fucking
Yeah. Actually, no,
cream?
that is because the
Oh, they're gonna launch it the next day or some shit, right?
yeah, it
Or,
was like in honor of my husband. Yeah, made a speech like in honor of my
oh
husband.
yeah, because she takes over the company. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she does, and then it's like, oh, we're gonna get this shipped out anyway.
Yeah, that's right. So she takes over the company, puts up all her old posters up again, and yeah, she's gonna distribute this beauty cream and shit. Um. So anyway, and then we're basically getting to the final showdown now, where Sharon Stone is confronted by the cop. And this makes no sense. Why does he suddenly suspect her? Why was that? I really missed that. I genuinely missed. Why does the cop suddenly go, you know what? Maybe it's not Catwoman. Maybe it's Sharon Stone. And he's got evidence of it. But what was the evidence?
I don't know. He had a chat with her basically. Oh no. He might have. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I think he must have been because when he talks to her at some point that he must have like been like secretly taping her. He had a wire on him or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I get that
I'm
because Sharon
guessing.
Stone confesses it basically, right? But they never show that he's got a tape on him. I seen that as well. But what I'm wondering is why did he go to her in the first place? Why did he suspect her in the first place?
I think. Oh yeah, no.
Framing
It's because
Catwoman.
he talks with yeah, because when he I think before Catwoman gets thrown in prison, he he has a talk with her, but then he's like, well, I kind of believe you, but all the evidence points to you. There's no evidence against her.
Mm.
Like and then he goes there to Sharon Stone, basically on trust of like Catwoman to see what if she's the one who's actually there at fault or
Mhm.
guilty, and by doing that, like by getting her to say that, by like bluffing that he has evidence, he now has evidence. It's like it's not great, but
Yeah,
that's how I understand it.
yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I guess in this shitty film that makes sense. Um, Yeah, he's going there on the strength of that. Yeah, okay, but I mean, still, like, I mean, they could have at least shown that he's wearing a tape, or I don't know why Sharon Stone's character would just freely confess that. You know, like I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
Anyway,
why would I don't know, who knows.
yeah. But anyway, so she shoots. Sharon Stone's like, oh, it doesn't matter because you're dead anyway. So she shoots him in the arm, and then she's going to shoot him in the face. And then Catwoman whips the gun out of her hand, and basically you get this boss fight between Catwoman and Sharon Stone, which is the only. Don't even want to use. It's the only okay fight in this film because it's like, it's like I don't know. I don't, it's a cat fight, right? It's two girls fighting.
Apparently, I think I have to get this right. Just gotta. You might wanna clip this particular part while I'm quickly looking this up. So literally 1111. So 1 hour 11 minutes. Fuck's sake. Just looking for something which is 9 minutes. Fuck. Come on. Don't tell me this is gonna be like at the bottom of the list. Yes. Yeah. Laurel Hedder. Yeah, that's Laurel. Yeah, Sharon Stone plays Laurel, right? That's her name. Laurel Hedder. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can. This is the bit which you'd cut it back. Yeah. So that fight scene I think took 9 days to film.
Really?
It's quite a long fight scene actually.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, it's
It's the
the final
fight scene, I guess, but
it's quite. I don't know the fact the whole film built up to that. I was just like, oh, like because I checked I checked the timestamp to make sure this was the final fight. I was just like, okay, there's 5-10 minutes to go. This is definitely the final fight, but it's like, oh, this is it. I mean, it is like I said, it is kind of quite. It's an okay fight because it's like a bit
it's
more.
well shot. I'll say.
Yeah. It's like, and there's shit happening and upper hands and all that shit. It's like, 1 minute Catwoman could die, the next minute Sharon Stone, and like they're exchanging a bit of shitty dialogue as well during it. But like, I don't know, and it's also quite a sexy fight as well because they're both wearing these revealing dresses and shit. So it's like,
Clearly more power to women, but
Yeah, I mean, at least that's. But it's convincing because it's a cat fight. It's two like bitches with a fucking with like they need to settle it, and it's like whenever you see these fights outside a pub or something or a club, whatever, you're just like, guys, just leave them to it, because guy never fights a girl, right? That's kind of the rule, and that's hard to avoid with Catwoman, especially in this film. Where I mean, when they did it in Batman Returns. Catwoman beating up a guy, it was tasteful because she's wearing a proper suit. She's still doing like sexy Catwoman things, but it's not like the guy's like being beaten up while staring at her tits. It's like that. It's like that shouldn't really work that way. I don't know.
They gave like a quite a level of dignity in that, but here it's just
This film, like, I very wish like this isn't fair on Halle Berry, but she signed up for it, man. I don't know, like what to say. Um, It's not crime fighting equipment or anything. That's not equipment for anything other than fucking some kind of BDSM shit, man. Some fucking I don't know. Like I
they
don't
could
know.
have given her like a gadget or something. I don't know. Like
Yeah, man. Just give us something.
because this film is like over the top. Like why not some over the top gadgets for Catwoman? Or is that
Yeah, man. She's got a
for it?
whip, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. This is so bad. So anyway, they kind of have this fight. Again as well. I'm wondering how the cop found out about Sharon Stone being. I mean, how he. Yeah, okay. Let's go with what you said. But then, how does Catwoman work out that Sharon Stone killed her? Because as far as she's concerned, as far as Catwoman's concerned, Daggett killed her. But why did she suddenly realize Sharon Stone killed her? Did Sharon Stone
Wait,
mentally
you're
crazy?
asking
Or I don't know.
Catwoman. You're asking how Catwoman found out that Sharon Stone killed the husband.
No,
Yeah.
no, obviously not.
Yeah, I was gonna say
How
like
Catwoman realized that Sharon Stone gave the order to kill Catwoman?
I don't know. I think it's because I don't know. Maybe she just revealed it to him.
Did she admit it or not? I don't know. Like,
Probably did. I mean, like she admits like her husband's murder. So
yeah, but she
like,
doesn't. But she wouldn't even know that she, because she's like, she doesn't know that Catwoman is Patience Phillips, right? She doesn't know that. So she ordered the death of Patience Phillips, I think. But when she does so, she literally says, "We don't know who she is or what she heard. Kill her anyway," right? So she doesn't even know who she killed.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good question. That's a good question.
So how would she even admit that she killed Patience Phillips because she doesn't know who that is? Makes no sense. So how does Catwoman find out that Sharon Stone killed Patience Phillips?
I don't know, man. Like
Doesn't.
we're trying to explain this, but it's not easy.
No, I'm just pointing out why this film's shit. I mean, you didn't need me to do that, but I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't think there could have
Um.
been any Catwoman 2004 fans. Getting upset.
Yeah. Exactly.
But if anyone is actually watching this to this part, like thanks for
Yeah,
suffering through
you're a
this.
fucking legend, man.
I mean, you've got
Um.
to have like you got to have like a brain the size of like Europe to figure this film out.
You're just waiting for us to yeah, if you were still watching by this point, you're just waiting to see how low a rating we give it. If it is it worse, this is the whole premise of the episode. Wait to see if we decide if it's worse than Batman and Robin or not. So anyway, wait till the end to find out, folks. So
Yeah, please
anyway,
don't skip this.
yeah, we're not far away from the end anyway, because there's
Yeah, it
like a
does come out.
slow mo bit in this fight where Catwoman swipes Sharon Stone's face, but it's like gives her like a little graze instead of fucking fucking proper like
Matches like you did on her husband.
small scratches, like I wanted to see that, not like some little graze. Like, what's the point in that?
Uh,
um so anyway, there's a bit where Catwoman is like on the glass and Sharon Stone's trying to like failing to basically break the glass, but she's like beating up Catwoman basically, and then basically Sharon Stone gets in the same position where she's hanging for her life. She falls through the hole that she created, and she's hanging onto the thing. Catwoman tries to save her, but Sharon Stone looks in the glass, sees her reflection. She can't live with how ugly she, or not how ugly, but
yeah, how
like,
ugly she perceives that she looks.
yeah, exactly. And so she'd rather die than, you know, live her
I
life.
don't know. That is kind of a sad. That is like a slight sad death. I mean,
Yeah. That's
yeah,
definitely like a cool, and it's like a tragic undertone and shit, like women and how they battle with how important their looks are and stuff. And it's like there's definitely a good message there, which Sharon Stone delivers well, and also reminds me of. I mean, any excuse to talk about it. It's Seven, because that's actually how one of the John Doe's victims dies, right? It's like,
yeah.
she
Yeah,
she would rather basically die than live with like the model that he kills.
yeah,
Yeah, she would rather like die than be disfigured or something, right?
yeah.
It's
The other
vanity.
thing, yeah,
So.
the other thing was this reminds me of, um, like the whole sort of like this film centers around like this beauty company and like the whole products that actually fuck you up over time. It reminds me. It just reminds me slightly of Smilex from '89. It's like that
Oh,
put a little smile on my face.
I suppose.
Yeah,
Honestly, all that shit reminded me more of Clayface, like how
that more specifically, but
that
it
was
just
totally Clayface's origin story. Like, why didn't they just like I don't know. I mean, whatever. I mean, this would have worked really well as a Clayface origin story, man. Um, but whatever. I guess we'll never get that
I don't know. I
apart from
mean,
the
I guess
animated
it
series,
makes more
which is great.
sense as well. The beauty industry and women and so on and so forth.
I suppose so. I suppose so. Yeah, if you're gonna make, it makes sense. So yeah, and then we wrap up all the loose ends where, starting with Catwoman's friend gets in a relationship with that doctor that she mentioned before. So that
Oh
was,
yeah,
you get to see the end of that. And she leaves a letter. Catwoman leaves a letter for the crazy cat lady and the cop, who she stands up again. And then it's just basically the monologue from, sorry, the voiceover from the beginning of the film. And my life started the day I died, blah blah blah. And and then she just we get one more look at the outfit and everything. Everything is not covering up as she's walking into the moon, and that's Catwoman.
right. So after after that bombshell, I have to say we Well, we don't have many elements to rank for this film because there's just we've got a Catwoman, obviously.
Yeah, man. There's no Alfreds, no bat suits, no nothing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was under
that's
the
a bit crazy.
impression Batman was in this film. I was lied to.
Yeah, for some reason I thought Batman was in this film as well, but he's not, obviously.
Yeah, but
So,
we reviewed it anyway, so
yeah,
had to go
because
through
we're
that
fucking
pain.
heroes like that. Because Batman wasn't in Joker either. And we're gonna review Joker, so
Yeah, I
but on
mean,
principle we have to do Catwoman.
yeah, he's in there for five. He's in 5 seconds of Suicide Squad, so
Yeah.
But anyway, um, so there's Catwoman. There's the film itself. No Batman theme or anything like that. Um, and
We
well,
could rank the love interest. It's not Batman's love interest, but there's still a love interest. So
nah, but we'll be comparing it against Batman's love interests, so it wouldn't make
yeah,
sense.
I know, but what I like is that this love interest is shit. I just want to see how shit it is compared to the others. Well, I think we can rank it anyway for this episode, but we're not going to talk about it again into other Batman films. We can still
Yeah,
watch
I guess. And there's also God, I'm getting dementia at the moment.
Sigma moment.
Yeah, the Sigma moment, if you can think of one personally, because I think I can kind of think of one that you might say, but I wouldn't personally even attribute one in this film.
Okay, well let's start with the Sigma moment, and then the love interest, and then Catwoman, because I mean the Catwoman's kind of the main thing we need to rank here, and then the film itself.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let's get the kind of silly two out of the way. So Sigma moment. What do you think of?
Like I said, I can't really attribute any single like
If you had
one.
to make a Sigma male comp to put on TikTok tomorrow, and you had to pick a clip from this film, what would you go with?
Okay, so all I can remember was this one part where Daggett,
Mhm.
his character says to his bit on the side, don't think ever.
Oh yeah, that's like consider that a term of our relationship.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. I don't know.
But
That made him seem more of an asshole than a Sigma male, though.
yeah, but those two are very fine
Yeah.
lines, so
There's a bit where he said. I mean, for me, it's always Sigmas go, "You're fired," which he says.
that's true.
But
But I don't know. I don't
but
think
you do
that.
get like Sigma female bit from Catwoman as well when she says shit to him. That was. But yeah, I don't know.
Oh, could we do that? I mean, it is called the Sigma Male segment, or should we have to rename
Exactly,
it
Sigma
Sigma
male. But
segment?
do we open up to Sigma female now?
Yeah, fair enough. That is the most Sigma thing you can do, I guess, in this. Like, just say fuck you to your
Still be a
face,
Sigma female. Absolutely. Well,
because
on this
that
podcast.
is
So.
essentially what Catwoman is. Doesn't
Yeah,
associate
pretty
with
much.
dating or anything. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll
So
have to give
we're
that.
gonna
We'll have
give
to
it to
give it.
that moment where she goes, "Oh, we didn't." I don't know the exact quote, but it's like, "Oh, yeah, it is pretty Sigma actually." If a guy said it, we'd totally rank it in here. So yeah, why wouldn't we? So yeah, Sigma female where she goes, "Oh, well, I'm sorry. Here's the remix. I'm sorry for wasting my time working for what is he?" She says like an
Yeah, it's
egotistical.
a vapid egotistical cunt, basically.
Yeah.
Not in those
Yeah.
exact words, because Americans are
All
the
right,
cunt.
all right. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so where are we gonna rank that amongst our current Sigma male?
Um.
What have we got? Read out the list for us.
Oh man. Uh, Give me a sec while I find it, so you can timestamp this at 1:24:25.
All right.
Where is it? I've written it down somewhere. Just need to find where.
You need to have these with you, man. Like, if
Yeah,
you're
I know, but thought for a second I could remember at least these. Okay. No, I'm retarded today. I've got like several notebooks, so I'm trying to figure out which one to send this in. Yeah, here we are. Okay, so our current Sigma moments are the. So at the very top, we've got Jack Nicholson, his Joker. Well, actually, not Joker, but Jack Napier
Yep.
in Batman '89, saying, "I didn't ask," to a woman who's saying, "You look good."
Mhm.
Then after that, in second place, we've got Christopher Walken's Max Shrek saying, "Actually, a
Shit,
very
that's number two.
yeah."
Wow. Oh, well, it's not going to be number two for much longer, man, because we got Christian Bale and fucking Ben Affleck Batman's coming, and all of their lines are Sigma quotes.
Yeah. Interestingly, he's also talking to Catwoman here, or at least before she becomes Catwoman, Selena Kyle,
Yeah.
saying like, actually, it very much is like that. Is a world where he can just push her out the window. And then after that, you've got Adam West saying,
Capitalist,
I'm a capitalist. I've got all this money and gadgets on me, to explain away how he's, can escape and stuff. And then at the very bottom of the pile, we've got Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer saying women.
Oh
I
yeah.
think there's one below that. My passion thoughts my bride alone. Arnold.
Yeah, when he turns down that hoe, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, we put that fifth.
No, I don't think we put it fifth. My mistake. Where did we? I think we put it above women.
Yeah. I was gonna say we must have put it. Women's like
women is like that is just no.
Okay.
All right. Lowest hanging fruit.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put. Well, do you know what? I think this is a really good one actually. Female Sigma female. I think we should put. I would put this quote. I'd put this quote maybe number 2.
Really, above Max Schreck's? I would put it just below, I think, because like it's for him it was him just straight up saying, yeah, I don't care, I'm just going to like murder you because I feel like it.
What I'm literally, this is my thought process right now. I'm imagining both of those clips with the Sigma music playing over it. I'm thinking,
It's also Christopher Walken, like, so.
It is Christopher
like,
Walken.
He just is like, I mean, I'm biased because I really like him, but.
Oh yeah, he pushes it out the window. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, that's got to go second. All right then.
But it goes above Adam West and.
Yeah, we'll put in
and
number 3. That's still pretty
that
good.
says something.
All right. Okay. Okay, and then we've got love interest. So, what's the current rankings for that?
All right. So our love interests. I mean, there are quite a few of them, but they are all quite similar. So at the top, interestingly, we've got Catwoman at the top from Michelle Pfeiffer's. Then we've got Vicky Vale, and then Kitka, and then Dr. Meridian Chase, who will forever sit at the bottom of the pile, I think. And where would you personally put this guy?
You forgot from Batman and Robin as well.
Oh, who even was in there? Oh yeah, it was someone who was like so inoffensive. I think we put them in the middle.
So forgettable. You've got to write it down.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne's girlfriend, right?
Yeah, I forgot there even was one.
And we put her third because she wasn't bad.
Yeah, we put her in the middle because she didn't like damage the film.
Yeah.
Or Chase.
So where are we going to put Catwoman and the cop? Whose name is Tom, I think, which I didn't pick up until the very end.
Tom something.
It's like, you're a good guy, Tom. Oh, that was his name.
Yeah, I would put him below Vicky Vale, I think, and above the one from Batman and Robin, because I think, I mean, even though it wasn't, you might not like it. I mean, come on, think about it. But before this, we've got the one who's like literally not in the film. Basically, we've got Kitka, who like opens a massive plot hole, and a Meridian Chase, who just sucks.
Well, yeah, this is certainly going below Meridian Chase, but this is a shit relationship and a shit film. It's just cringe. I couldn't. No, I think it's got to go below the one from Batman and Robin.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. I do that. If like you say the only reason why I put this like high, well, I can see why you put it below, and I might agree with this. But my thinking for the reason why this has some merit is that it does something for the film, and that like it's kind of interesting where he's investigating, like trying to find Catwoman. So there's a reason to it. It's not like shoehorned in for no reason.
That's true. But I mean, still, like the cringe moments in it just
yeah, that's true.
Me to put it above even like one that isn't even worth mentioning. So all right, so putting that fourth, right?
Yeah, fourth below.
Okay, above Kit Kat,
below unnamed blonde actress. So we can also rank Catwoman in this case. We've had Michelle Pfeiffer number 1, unsurprisingly, and then Merriweather underneath.
Number 2. Okay. So Halle Berry's Catwoman, not looking good for her, man.
Yeah, I
What
mean,
would you put her?
I would put her at the bottom because I know we rank Batman and the Batsuit separately, but in this case, like Catwoman
If we were
isn't.
ranking Catwoman and catsuits,
Yeah, Catwoman and
damn.
the suit here. I don't understand because she originally had this leather suit her friend gave her,
Yeah.
which would have looked cool with the mask and everything, but then she just transforms into like like a stripper basically, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's what I was going to
why?
say. Like, literally what I was going to say, because it's like,
It defeats the
yeah, she,
purpose of
she goes
Catwoman.
from like, because this is the thing about Catwoman, you don't have to wear that little to look sexy, right? It's like, and that's kind of the whole message of the film as well, right? About fucking, beauty and beauty products are shit, man. I don't know, there's like that feminist message there. But then it's also like, you know, like, I don't know. It's confusing, man. But yeah, I mean, every other Catwoman still gives that seductive element without having to like dress like a stripper, like you said. So yeah, I mean, anyway, but that would be for if it was a separate catsuit ranking. But as Catwoman as well, if we're encompassing her origin story and the fucking things she does and etc.
Yeah, no, I'd say
Yeah, she has to go last as well. I agree. I think she's going third, even below Lee Merriweather.
Yeah, and that leaves with absolutely no real disagreement on that one.
Yeah.
That leaves us with just the film to rank.
All
Uh,
right. Let me get the rankings open. Bang. Here they
so,
are.
so
Okay. So
yeah,
let me scroll down here because I have a feeling we're going to be
we have
somewhere in
Batman
this
and
territory.
Robin. I think
So we
maybe
gave Batman and Robin 1.8, right?
gave it 1.8 or 1.7. I might have a very terrible memory.
1.8.
Yeah,
We
1.8.
can, we can move down to 1.7 for all I care. Fuck it.
Yeah, we'll just say that. I'm pretty sure it's 1.7. I might just have a terrible memory, but
Right. So what are we giving Catwoman?
personally, I would say I'd give it maybe a 2.4 points for trying. This is not worse than Batman and Robin, I would say, because like you don't have George Clooney in this smiling at someone dying.
Oh
Like
yeah.
the acting
Fuck.
is like bad at some
I
points, but
totally deleted that from my head, man. Shit. That was so bad.
I mean, yeah. And one thing I'll also say is the music score in this, like apart from the songs, like basically anything that was instrumental
Yeah,
was
we didn't
all
even mention the shitty songs, man.
the songs.
Oh.
The songs in this are bad, but like the actual soundtrack, like the instrumentals, is
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
okay. I think
It's okay.
it
The other
certainly
thing I
beats
liked
like
about this
the
film,
theme song
Kind of. I liked Sharon Stone in this film. I thought she was really good, and the plot twist and everything. I thought that worked. And on that strength alone, maybe it does put it above Batman and Robin for me. I'm
Mm.
thinking like, what film would I rather watch? If I had to watch one of these again, which one would I choose? And yeah, I think it would be this one just because it's shorter as well. It's about 20 minutes shorter.
Yeah, that
This
certainly
film
helps it.
wastes 20 minutes less of my life. So I'm going to put it, yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you and put it above Batman and Robin.
Yeah, what would you give it out of like 10?
I'd
Is
probably
2.4
still
a bit
give it
harsh?
less, though. Less than
You give it
2.5.
less.
Yeah, I'd probably give it like a. It's shit. It's just terrible and cringe, man. It's just bad. It's just bad.
Hmm.
Bad acting, bad writing. I mean, they didn't even give you the satisfaction of saying Gotham City or Selena Kyle or something, man.
Well,
Let's
maybe
give
that
us a little
help.
bit of
Maybe that
like, just
helps
have
in
to
that it
use
didn't
shit
damage.
aliases as well.
Well, maybe that also it helps because it didn't damage sort of like the Batman universe, if that makes sense.
Well, it
So
doesn't matter. It's called Catwoman. Of course, it's fucking Gotham. Everyone knows that. They just
that's
don't want to admit it for legal purposes. I don't know. Like, it's
I
just
don't know.
stupid.
Although, I mean, I do have one fact
Go on.
um, that will sort of relieve you a little bit and also make you shit yourself slightly because there were rumors around 2003, roughly, that they were going to scrap this film, this project, in favor of having Catwoman in Batman Begins with Halle Berry.
No, that would have been cool.
You
I mean,
think?
at least
I
they'd have
mean,
put her in a
if it
serious
was
film,
serious, but I don't know. But eh,
And it certainly wouldn't have been this kind of Catwoman, right? That would have been just Halle Berry in a serious Catwoman role. That would have been Halle Berry as Catwoman instead of Anne Hathaway. That would have been fine.
maybe, but
That'd have been way better. And then you wouldn't have Rachel either, who sucks. Oh man, they should have totally done that.
Sure.
Do you not think?
Well, I don't know. I don't. I mean, I've only seen Batman Begins once, so I remember like basically nothing about it.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
you know,
we're gonna do it next week. So
yeah, that helps
Catwoman,
me in
I'll
that
give it
case.
a 2. I would give it a 2,
Give
man.
it to. Can we
It's
meet in the
shit.
middle again, like before, at 2.2 here?
Yeah, I suppose. What the fuck? 2.2. There you go, Catwoman. Okay, well, it's not the worst film we've ever reviewed. Okay. fuck Batman and Robin, man. And I'm gonna scroll up so I don't even have to look at that shit, man. All right. Okay, well, that's it then, basically. So,
Yeah, stay tuned. You know, we've got good times coming.
the bad times are over, people. The fucking shit era of the Batman films is dead. It's over. We've done them. We've fucking Henry. I'm proud of us for reviewing and watching fucking Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, and Catwoman. And may I cast your mind back to Batman and Batman Forever? Okay. Do you remember how bad you thought that was?
I thought that was bad. I still think it's bad, but
But do you think? I mean, it was nowhere near as bad as these films. Were it?
yeah,
It was okay.
it was bearable, but like, no. I mean, yeah, anything like in 4 and below, I never want to see again.
Okay, so thanks everyone for watching for watching our review of Catwoman, I should say. Fucking follow us and subscribe and all that shit. And we'll see you again next week for
Yeah,
Batman Begins.
we'll be in the same building next week, so that'll be
We
interesting.
will. Fun time. So join us next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Done.
Yeah. Oh man, never wants the KMS more in my life.
Oh.